So instead of spending hours raking up all those fallen leaves this weekend, just don't. Just leave them there and know you'll be helping the environment at the same time. It's a controversial take. So here to explain why not raking is best is eco-expert Krishma Porwal. Welcome to Your Morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so why should we just leave the leaves this fall?
Yeah, I mean, I want to start by saying happy fall. Fall is such a beautiful time of year. I always encourage my friends and family to get outside as much as they can because we're so fortunate to have an autumn season. So many places around the world don't even get to experience the changing of the leaves the way we do. And speaking of the leaves, so the leaves form the foundation for a lot of important changes that happen in nature during this time. From the minute a leaf falls from the tree and hits the ground, its decomposition process begins. So it begins to decay and adds really important nutrients to the soil, enriching the earth ready for spring. And then bacteria, fungi, invertebrates, so like bugs, they'll help break down dead plant matter into food for living plants. And on top of that, fallen leaves help provide a place for critters like frogs, worms, beetles, and pollinators to overwinter, which means providing them with shelter for when the weather gets really harsh and unpredictable. And then lastly, leaves help store carbon in the earth. As we know, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, which causes global warming. And decomposing leaves help lock that carbon into the soil, essentially turning your backyard into a carbon sink. So all that to say, it pays to be lazy. And yeah, we should leave the leaves.
And just to leave them. So you have a few ideas on what you can do with the leaves. And the first one is create a compost pile. So how does that help the environment? What does that look like?
Yeah, so you can add your leaves to any sort of compost that you might have going on, whether that be an underground compost, a compost bin. Those leaves will decompose and add carbon to your compost mix. So when spring comes around, you can use this soil to set up some really, really healthy soil for your vegetables, flowers, whatever you have going on in the springtime.
Okay.
And really help set your seedlings up for success.
Okay, what about if you have a garden? How can you use them there?
Yeah, I mean, leaves are great as natural mulch too. So you can use them, you can sprinkle them as is, or you can break them down. Okay. But they'll act as a great mulch for soil over the winter. Now, winter weather can get really windy and it can blow off that top layer of soil, which is really important.
Yeah.
And so a thick layer of leaves can help protect that soil. And it's especially important if you've sown fall bulbs like garlic or tulips. And then as for the leaves that you've just left on the ground, they're gonna do their thing and act as a mulch too. They're gonna suppress the weeds that might sprout up in the springtime. So again, it pays to be lazy.
So if you were gonna, so let's say you're gonna do this, do you like rake everything into your beds? Do you break them down first? What do you do?
Yeah, so you can either rake them into piles and use them as mulch. If you wanna rake them and leave a pile somewhere, I would recommend leaving them under the tree that they fell from. So then this can improve the soil in the area under the tree, providing the tree with lots of good nutrients over the winter. And in fact, if you're making a pile of leaves anywhere in your lawn, it's gonna be used in some way. Some critters might move in and make it their home, like hedgehogs or birds. And I would recommend jumping in those leaves before you leave them, because of course it's the festive thing to do.
Okay, some people, and my husband has just started doing this, is whatever leaves we don't rake up, he mows them into the lawn. Yeah. What does that do? Yeah, mowing them is perfectly fine. Essentially, you're just shredding them, you're breaking them down, you're helping speed up, you're catalyzing that decomposition process, so you'll still get most of the benefits that we talked about. Mowing them is no problem. All right, you can also use leaves for crafts, and I love that idea. So what do you do? Yeah, I mean, there's so many festive fall crafts you can make with leaves because, of course, they're so colorful and beautiful. Some people string them into garlands, some people kind of make wreaths out of them for their front doors, or you can just, slap them into a frame and hang them up. It's super easy and such a cheap way to decorate for the fall as well. And something to do with all those leaves that you're now not raking up into a pile and putting into the brown bags. All right, Krishma, thanks for being here today. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.